Mr. Speaker, can I be heard? Mr. Speaker, can I be heard? Thank you. Mr. Speaker, my name is Elisha Ongoya. I beg to reply. For starters, in response to this notice of preliminary objection, the County Assembly has filed grounds of opposition named Volume 7. It's a small volume. If it has gone round, it has gone round just a short while ago. And an affidavit named Volume 7A, being the affidavit of Edna Chepkirui Tonui. I begin by begging Mr. Speaker that these documents be deemed to be validly on record. They are the documents I alluded to earlier. Having said that, I begin by saying that if you look at the written notice of preliminary objection, there are two elements of the objection that my learned colleagues for the governor have either abandoned or not alluded to specifically, alleging violation of a court order and reintroduction of the motion because they have not argued it.
Counsel for the County Assembly, respond to the PO, not the proposed PO.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with that. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Having said that, allow me then to start with the issue that Mr. Wanyama, learned counsel, raised here by saying he personally logged into this system and voted. That qualifies him to be a witness who needs then to demonstrate to this House how he logged into this system and how he voted, and therefore be a proper subject of cross-examination. Anything short of that, Mr. Speaker, distinguished senators, is nothing more than mere sensationalism, and I beseech you to treat it as such. The second issue, Mr. Speaker, is on the allegation of the logs that you have just been taken through. And I wish to spend just 1 minute. It's amazing how sensationalism can arise. But if you go to page number 13 of Volume 4A of the County Assembly's documents, the audit logs run from page 13 all the way to page 17. And allow me to demonstrate why you cannot determine this objection on the grounds raised by my learned colleague, Mr. Wanyama, by referring to a decision of the High Court on a similar issue. This Senate impeached another governor called Governor Mike Sonko Mbuvi Gideon Kioko, and an issue of electronic voting arose in that matter. When that matter went into the High Court, there was a petition number A425 of 2020 that was considered by the High Court, and the judgment is publicly available on the National Council for Law Reporting. At paragraph 169 and 170 of that judgment, the three-judge bench of the High Court observed, and I quote, "The court is now left with two separate sets of affidavits that present contradictory positions. On the one hand, some MCS aver that their login credentials were forged. Same thing you are hearing here, and that they never participated in the voting process on 3rd December 2020, and even went to the extent of making a report at Kwale Police Station. Same argument you will hear here. On the other hand, 20 of the same 39 MCS swore affidavits for the governor. 20 of them swore fresh affidavits on 4th December 2020, stating that they willingly voted on 3rd December 2020. You will find the same scenario in this case before you. Same scenario. The Hansard, this is the High Court saying, which is the official record of the County Assembly, shows that 90 MCAs voted in respect to Honorable Ogada's motion. In view of the contradictory averments by some of the MCAs who are alleged to have been in Kwale, coupled with the lack of any expert evidence in support of the alleged hacking. Let me stop there by demonstrating that Mr. Wanyama is a lawyer like me. He's no expert in ICT. He will not guide you on the functionality of ICT. Coupled with lack of evidence to support the alleged hacking, we find the petitioners did not establish that the 2/3 statutory requirement for the impeachment of the governor was not met. Having said that, let me go to the logs at page 13 to page 17. These are logs in a system, in an ICT system, and yet what you have before you is a printout of those logs. It means one must copy the logs, then print them out. That's the only way we can present the evidence of the logs here. Otherwise, this ICT expert has put the link in his affidavit, and when he takes the witness stand, when the trial starts, he will demonstrate to you how this system works, and you will see the logs themselves. But to give you a printout, which is a requirement of the rules of procedure, one has to copy the logs and put them here. And therefore, if the logs are copied twice, it does not mean that somebody voted twice. Allow me to take you through the exact entries that my learned colleague, Mr. Wanyama, has alluded to. At page 16 is a log called at 15th of August 2025 at 19:25:29 hours, 7:15 p.m. and 29 seconds. He alleges that there is a vote cast by that IPPD number. And you go to page 17, you see where he's alluding to at the first line, 15th August 2025 at 9:15:29, vote cast by that IPPD number. Let's look at the next log. The next log, 15 August 2015, 19:15:26. Let's go to the corresponding log on the following page, 17, 15th August 2025, 19:15:26. The same hour, the same minute, the same second. Go to the third entry, senators. This is 19:15:23. Then you got the following log, 19:15:23. Failed log. You see the same entries of the same IPPD number by the same person at the same hour, same minute, same second. This is a product of the copying of the logs for purposes of printing. It is not the logs in the system. It's how when you copy the log to print, you can copy twice. The results of this election, which my learned calls are at pages 21 to page 26 of volume 4A. My apologies, not 26, 28. The results are at pages 21 to page 28. And if you go to page 22, at the second box from the bottom, that is Honorable Chepkemoi Beatrice, you notice she voted yes at 19:15:19, and you don't see her in any other entry in the results of the vote. These are the results of the vote. This is what the speaker declared. You run from page 21 to page 28. You will see every every MCA who voted yes captured once. I juxtapose this data, and possibly, Mr. Speaker, when the members will be contributing, fortunately for us, this Senate is a crucible of talent. There are multiplicity of talent here, and there are ICT experts among you. They will demonstrate very clearly that you can't take a copying of the logs to print when it's copied twice, say therefore somebody voted twice. Otherwise, it will mean that these people were so meticulous that from that entry that Mr. Wanyama began with, up to the second last entry on that page, and when you go to page 17, from the first entry up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, up to the 11th entry, those people transacted meticulously at the same time, second, minute, hour. It makes no sense. That's number one. Number two, in their submissions, my learned colleagues have said they will call witnesses to prove these facts. It means what they have raised before you are questions about credibility of witnesses. The forum for testing credibility of witnesses is in the trial itself, so that this ICT expert will take the stand, take you through the procedure, take you through these logs and field questions, and then you'll be able to test the credibility. And that will be the case for any other person, including members of the county assembly. I'm making out a case that what has been argued before you is not a preliminary objection by any stretch of imagination of that word preliminary objection. These are contentious, convoluted matters of law, which even you have seen. My learned colleague, Mr. Wanyama, wishes to convert himself into a witness and also tell you how he participated in this voting process himself. We have no problem with that, senators. If my learned colleague, Mr. Wanyama, wishes to take the witness stand and adduce that evidence, we have been here long enough to demonstrate that we deal with that in cross-examination. It is the only tool known to law for testing veracity of evidence. Allow me then to go to the standing orders. Standing order number 77 of the Kericho County Assembly standing orders is the operating standing order for this process. I will also briefly allude to standing order number 83. Standing order number 77 provides that unless the Speaker, for the convenience of the Assembly, otherwise directs, voting on a division in the Assembly shall be by electronic voting. So that the first grievance that my learned colleagues for the governor are raising is, why did the Speaker comply with standing order number 77? That's the essence of the objection. 77.3 provides that during electronic voting, members shall cast their votes by pressing either the yes, no, or abstain button. I sat here and I listened to my learned colleague, Mr. Katwa Kigen, most polite colleague that I know, very courteous colleague that I know, saying that the word button means a manual button. A manual button. Technology has evolved. And when an electronic system prompts you with the 3 electronic buttons, yes, and you press it, no, and you press it, abstain, and you press it, I respectfully submit, you have pressed a button. So partly, again, this objection was based on a very manual understanding of the word button. And I don't know how much more I can say about that, but I think, Mr. Speaker, senators, that's the best I can do. To say that because Kericho County Assembly has technologically advanced, that people can press electronic buttons as we do with our M-Pesa smartphones, we admit yes or no or cancel without pressing a manual button, or as we do in our ATM machines. The ATM machine prompts you. You select bank statement, select withdrawal, select electronically on the screen. To say that because Kericho County Assembly is at pace with that technology, we must therefore fault it. It will be a sad day in the history of governance of this country if we reached that verdict. So, senators, you have been told that certain MCAs have sworn affidavits distancing themselves from the vote. We have demonstrated that this is not a new game in town. Number one, in the Mike Mbuvi Sonko case, that happened. The court determined the Hansard is the authoritative source of information. The only way to counter that is when those witnesses come here in the trial itself and their evidence is tested. But number two, When you finally look at volume 7A, this is an affidavit of one of the said 18 MCS, denying swearing those affidavits that the governor has brought before you. One of them, sworn an affidavit, is here before you. Distinguished senators, can we resolve this matter without putting the actual people on the stand at the trial to resolve that matter? I submit respectfully that impose, Mr. Speaker, I know my time is up. May I just get 2 minutes to sum up my argument? Mr. Speaker, my apologies, my time is up. I want to just get some 2 minutes to sum up the argument.
2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, what are we saying in a nutshell? In a nutshell, we are saying that there is a witness affidavit supported by documents running from page 1 of volume 4A, running from page 4 of volume 4A to page 44 of volume 4A, giving you an audit trail of this voting process. Nothing can be a clearer explanation of a verifiable and accountable system of voting than a system that generates this kind of audit trails. So you can't fault a system that can generate this volume of audit trails and say it is faulty. Number two, you have been told that these MCAs are not technologically advanced and could not vote. Pages 1 to page 3 of that volume 4A is evidence of Kericho County Assembly buying for these MCAs laptops to technologically enable them way back in September 2024. Way back in September 2024, and therefore the Assembly has done its part. What is the correct approach to this objection, Mr. Speaker? I suggest that, Mr. Speaker, the matters raised in this objection be subsumed in the trial. These matters be tested through the trial, and these matters be determined as part and parcel of the questions of fact and law that this Senate shall deal with at the voting stage of this motion. I respect you, Mr. Speaker, and I rest the County Assembly's case.
Counsel for the Governor. Now, Honorable Senators.